Oh, guys, good, you're here. I am so excited. Guess what?
I hope this isn't about your podcast again.
Why, did you finally listen to it?
I came in like a wrecking ball.
The Grandma Next Door is recorded in front of a live studio audience. Welcome to the Grandma Next Door. You're listening to my mommy and daddy.
And now our feature presentation.
And here's your host, my mommy and daddy, Chris and Stella Green.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 78 of The Groomer Next Door. I'm your co-host, Chris Green, and sitting next to me, as always, is the lovely, delightful, and the elegant Sarah.
Hello.
Well, welcome back to another edition of The Groomer Next Door. If you're looking at the album art this week, I always like to look at this and think of it as kind of a child's book. You know, when they talk about the page, and when you hear the sound, bling, turn the page. Remember those books? Books with cassette tapes? Now I'm starting to seem like I'm old.
You're dating yourself.
I am dating myself. There it is. But anyways, this week we actually, I had posted around social media, a very proud moment this week. We were able to share, and it's in the album art, where it says giving back to the Rolla Police Department. We have a big story about that we will share with you guys. Very proud, very honorable moment that we actually were able to have with them. We will, of course, go into our weekly roundup, and of course, we have the news pup date. I can get that out eventually. So somehow, some way, right?
We'll get it.
So, yeah, you know, it's interesting. I thought this was actually going to be my last podcast while being here, but we'll cover that in the news. I guess I got at least another week here. Huh, interesting. All right, so we're going to dive right into the weekly roundup.
The weekly roundup, yeah.
All right, well, on this weekly roundup, let's cover the week. Luckily, it wasn't a 6-day week. That was hectic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Man.
We crawled across the finish line.
To say the least. Yeah, that was harsh, man. In 2 weeks, we had 1 day off, so we worked 11 days out of the actual set of days that we were supposed to go. The 12 days of going, we worked 11 of 12. That was rough.
Yeah, slightly.
Slightly. That was definitely it.
Well, the only thing that really stood out to me is the picture that you posted on our Facebook page about the tick-filled dog.
Yes.
That was pretty harsh.
Yeah, that was the most ticks I've ever seen on a dog since I've been doing this.
Yeah,
no fleas.
Yeah.
No fleas, all ticks.
Go figure that one. The mom hasn't treated it for anything at all. And no fleas.
No fleas.
They go hand in hand. They're all the same. And where you get ticks is where you get fleas.
I don't know.
So how in the world there was absolutely nothing, no, not
at all. I know. I was a little weirded out by that one as well. I don't know what happened there.
Well, Prince is a Pekingese, and he has super, super thick hair, and he looked like a show Pekingese walking down the what do they call it when they walk the dogs down? Show ring. Whatever.
I guess that was
the show ring. I mean, he was just fluff, and the hair was just everywhere. And I put my hands on him. I'm like, oh, you're matted. Oh, no. I called the mom, and mom's like, yes, I know. There's some health problems that popped up in our family, so we're sorry, but we just need to take him down short. Okay, not a problem. About an hour into the actual prep shave, I'm picking off ticks left and right off the dog. Some of the ticks are too small to actually pick off because if you don't pick the tick off properly, the head of the tick stays in there and it stays alive. And it causes irritations. It actually can cause infections and bump up, make a little bump where that head is. So you gotta be very careful on removing them. Some are fat enough that they just fall off. They're so engorged. And then some, if you don't get them off, your clipper's just going to cut it in half and it's going to cause a problem. So I took an empty water bottle, started throwing the ticks in there and threw that in the trash. I picked off probably easily 20 ticks.
Oh, that would be minimum. That was just
the
forever.
one that I put in the bottle,
Yeah.
about 20 ticks. And that's not counting the ones I left on, telling her, look, you need to get flea and tick medicine on your dog. It's just going to cause more pain if I sit there and pull off all the other dozens of ticks that are left. So, during the wash, Chris has never had to experience this before. But as you got the water onto the chest area, it revealed about 15 or 20 different ticks just on the chest alone. And that's not including around his male parts or his legs and between his toes. I try to get the ones off his toes pretty well. But, as long as we've been doing this, it's really not a big deal seeing ticks.
No.
But it still creeps me out feeling them on them while you're picking them up. You know there's a tick right there.
Tick check.
Yeah.
There's always tick check after when you have that. No, I've actually dealt with it. I don't get a lot of them. We don't get a lot of those. We've never had one this massive. I've had it a couple times, but it's like 6 months. Every 6 months or so, I see it. Yeah. Not something I see that often.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. No, not really. This poor dog, he just was so annoyed by us at the end of the groom. He just kind of wanted to be left alone. Can't blame him.
I can't blame him at all.
So I instructed her that she has to get flea and tick medicine on him. And it has to be the topical treatment. I heard there is a new pill out that will cover for ticks too. But I don't know how popular it is yet. And I don't know where you can get it just yet. Obviously a veterinarian. But if it's brand new out on the market, most likely most of the veterinarians won't have them. So you have to stick with the topical treatment. And you have to wait a couple days after the groom in order to put it on. So eventually they'll start drying up. They'll either flake off on their own, or with a gentle tug, the whole thing will come out. But man, I had to check myself. I had ticks run on me, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I look on my shirt, and here's a tick crawling on my chest. I'm like, no.
Yeah, you didn't have any when you came home. You didn't have any. I didn't have any. And that's honestly a rarity to have a dog that infested and not come home with some. Yeah, that's rare. We got lucky.
I still feel like they're crawling on me.
Yeah, talking about it, you think that they're actually there. Yeah, that was the dog that stood out for me as well this week. Everything else is a blur.
Yeah, there was a lot of scheduling mishaps again.
Yeah.
A couple dogs that were supposed to be booked for me and weren't. Craig did the best he could, and I came in to help with the face and stuff.
We had our standard poodles come in.
Oh, we had one standard poodle come in.
Was there only one? I thought it was two. Was it one?
Gracie came in last week, or
Really?
the week before.
Oh gosh, I thought it
And
was.
Sophie was last week, and then I think we have Henry this week or next week.
Oh, I didn't know that. I figured
Oodles
that.
and oodles of poodles, folks.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I lost it.
I'm hoping she's wanting Henry shaved. Oh my gosh, his hair is so thick. He's got a show coat. It is thick. It is fluffy. It stands on end when it's straightened out properly. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, I'm just hoping she wants it shaved. She got the other two shaved, so hopefully we get this one shaved too.
That'll be entertaining. All right. You want to move on to the news?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to news. All right. Well, Sarah actually pointed out last week we were a little louder than we wanted to be on the actual news sound. Sorry about that, everybody. By the time I actually played it for Sarah, 'cause, we don't listen to our podcast after it's up. Sarah's like, that's a little loud. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That is a lot louder than I needed it to be. One thing that really bugs me about different podcasts out there, I listen to podcasts and I record a podcast. But more or less, I listen to podcasts and I get so mad when sound quality is bad. Bugs me. So if I listen to a podcast and it's really quiet, well, I don't listen again. And when I make little errors like that, I go, oh, man. So, yeah. Sorry, I am fighting another Claire cold, and it is kicking my butt.
Sick for over a month. Oh, I'm just now feeling better. This is day 2 of not having a crazy, retarded, screwed up throat.
Yeah, which I now have, and I'm on day 4 of that, and
At least you don't have tonsils. This attacked my tonsils.
This has been awful. It's talking makes you start to choke.
And that's what made our week so hard, was that we were so sick, and for some reason, the past 2 months have been so busy around here. I've never seen it strike up so quickly, so fast.
Well, I don't think we never...
So fast.
Yeah.
That made total sense.
That didn't make any sense. Yeah, actually, that's the weird part for us, is we never really had a winter. We had the winter, obviously, but we didn't have the winter slowdown. So it's pretty much remained very constant, very busy, so it's been very rough.
Yes, and that has been a very big blessing.
It has been a blessing. It's unfortunately the part where Claire keeps giving us these school colds, and they're just wiping us,
Just hoping that the older she gets, the less cold she brings home, because the more aware of each child is about washing hands and exchanging germs.
Yeah. Well, let me dive right in to our big thing that we did this week. It's always very important that we're able to do as much in our community as possible. We want to actually be positive role models to our daughter. We want to be good citizens in our town. We want to actually be able to do more than expect, and that's the big message that we want to share with everybody. So this was your whole brainchild. So explain it to everybody.
Well, I've explained it before. Where here we go. I wanted to do something for the amazing folks for Rolla, the police department, who help us in so many different ways. And the police departments in general lately have been getting so much grief. And it's kind of annoying me, because it's like, look, if they get enough slack, it's going to get to the point where the officers aren't going to want to do anything for us, because all they get in return is a bunch of complaining and people wanting to physically hurt them. Well, it's citizens like us that need to help change that and show them how much we appreciate them. Well, Rocco left one time from getting a D-shed. And just through casual conversation, Steve said that, man, I would like one of those those big dryers to help during his shedding time. And I was like, okay. Alright, so I'm sitting there thinking about the day, and I looked over at Chris. I'm like, I know what our next fundraiser is going to be. Ferb, I know what we're going to do today.
I actually thought you said Pinky. I know what we're going to do tonight. No?
Phineas and Ferb.
I know. I wanted to reference Pinky and the Brain.
But I wanted to reference Phineas and Ferb.
Okay. One of us is Pinky and the Brain, and the other one's is Phineas and Ferb. I actually, again, like to date myself a little bit further back.
A little retro there.
Yep.
So,
it was Animaniacs. It was part of the Animaniacs crew.
For Animaniacs.
Right. Go ahead.
We're Sadie to the max. Anyway, so we developed this. Okay, well, let's start taking pictures of these dogs. Do the digital printout, just like what we did when we raised money for Picol. And we raised money from the one lady who had her schnauzers boarded with us for so long that she couldn't afford the entire bill. We'll do more pictures, digital photos that is either emailed, text message, or they can take it off of our Facebook page. And this whole package of $10, the full $10 is going straight to our fund. And there's a squirrel.
Right there on the tree.
That's a big squirrel.
Okay.
Squirrel.
Yeah, you're completely.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Okay. So
You were losing. I was losing you there.
You pointed it out.
Well, yeah, of course. I was watching him in the street. I watched him run across the way. Okay, go on.
So we did quite a few photos of this fundraiser, and we needed to get to $230, and a minimum of $230. And it would have been nice to have more, but $230 will get them what they need for being inexperienced groomers in a sense, because if you get the real high velocity blow dryers like the K9 2, that thing can pump out some air quickly, and you can hurt a dog if you're not trained properly in how to use it. So before anybody actually gets to use our K9 dryer at work, they have to watch me dry at least 1 or 2 dogs. And then once they get to dry dogs, I gotta stand there and watch them to make sure it's done properly and we don't hurt anybody. So I got him this. Oh wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyhow, did these great photos, but I was starting to get a little discouraged because I really wanted to get this dryer as soon as physically possible, because we're hitting the shedding season. And that's when Officer Gray was like, it would be nice to have it then. Well, I was speaking to one of our good customers, and I've been grooming their Cocker Spaniels for about 4 years now. And he goes, "You guys still doing that fundraiser?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're stuck. We're trying to get there, but we're a little stuck." Well, he goes, "Okay, well, I need a bag of dog food and keep the change. I just need a receipt written out for donation." Okay, I was thinking, great, we're going to have a $20 donation. This is really going to help us. He throws down a $100 bill. $100. Oh my God, I started crying. I was like, thank you so much. You guys don't know how much of a relief this is. Because at this point, we only needed like $70 and we had the dryer. And I was going to put in that $70 just to get it here. Well, I was speaking to a bunch of my friends on Facebook, on my personal Facebook page, and one of my other friends from California, Christina, she sends me a message. She goes, "I would like to help out. Do you mind if I send you a check to help out for this blow dryer?" I'm like, "Thank you, Christina. Every little bit helps. Awesome. This is great." I was excited. I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be amazing if she sent $20? Wouldn't that be so cool to get $20 for a donation? It takes forever to get mail sent from California to here. So about a week later, we got the check, and I opened up the check, and Christina sent us $70.
No, it was longer than a week. It actually was like 2 weeks.
Okay, it was.
It
was a
took
long time.
forever. Yeah, it was. Mail is weird going west to mid. I don't know what it's like west to east, but man, when it goes to the Midwest from California or the West Coast, it takes forever.
Yeah, it took forever, and I'm just sitting here waiting and waiting and waiting, and come to find out, she sent us $70. My jaw dropped once again. I started crying. Oh my gosh, we made our goal. Thanks to Noel and his lovely wife Jennifer and Christina, we made our goal. So I made sure to get all the money together, gave it to Keith and Carla mailed out the blow dryer. It was amazing.
She ordered the dryer and it was mailed out.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we received the dryer Tuesday of this past week. Contacted Officer Gray, let him know. And unfortunately, another officer couldn't come out. He usually handles a lot of the other stuff, and we were supposed to have 3 there, but unfortunately 2 couldn't make it. Which, there's always so much that's going on, especially when you're in the police department. So it was completely understood. You guys are probably busier than majority of occupations out there.
Right, and we had it all set and ready for Steve to come out with Rocco at a certain time, but they were pulled away because they're hunting a pedophile. All their hard work and efforts, you don't have to say sorry to us that
Nope.
you weren't able to make it at that time. You don't need to.
You don't owe us an explanation.
Exactly. After all the stuff that you guys do for us, you don't owe us anything else. He was able to make it, and he didn't mind hanging out for a few minutes and taking pictures and such like that too, which is awesome. One of our awesome customers work for the Raleigh Daily News, and they're doing an article on us too. So that will be in the newspaper. This will be my third time.
Fourth.
My fourth time.
Fourth. You're one over me. We got.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, this is my fourth time. This will be our third time in the newspaper.
Yep.
Which is pretty flippin' awesome. And he's able to take this dryer and use it on Rocco, and then share it with Officer Campbell, and see how Chaos does with it.
Right. You know, it's. I hope that for all of you who are listening, you're wondering, well, what's the point? You know, what is your end goal to this? What is your motive? The motive to this is really simple. Go and do something for somebody else without expecting anything in return. You know, I can imagine there are a couple out there who are saying this is just to build business. We can't handle any more business. I mean, I have to leave because we can't sustain the business. I have to actually go to school and go into a very large amount of debt.
And you have to be away from us for 3 months.
All right.
This isn't a ploy. Hey, we need dogs. Come
Nope.
here. Look how awesome we are. No, this is literally giving back for what we've all been blessed with.
Right.
What's the point being blessed in your life if you don't share it with others?
Yeah, this is where with every kind of bit of success you have, whether it's just doing a podcast or doing community service or whatever you do, it's when you're doing it, what is your motive? You know, ours has always been to be good role models for our daughter. That's how this whole thing started. So when we actually do this stuff, it has zero to do with business, and it has everything to do with, you know, just follow our lead. Go out and do something positive.
Well, it depends. It doesn't matter if you are.
Well, if you're looking for inspiration to actually do it.
Well, even if you're not spiritual, if you're not doing it because you believe in God, or if you're doing it because you believe in karma, do it. You'll receive so much more if you help, others.
Right.
I take it as in the Lord blessed me with a healthy family, an amazing work environment, an amazing talent, and the love for everything beautiful. So how am I going to still get blessed, continuously be blessed, if I don't share it with others?
Right.
Some people look, well, karma can be a what, so pay it forward and receive it 10 times full.
And I look at it and I think, if I want to be able to leave a legacy behind of positive. If I have a little bit that's left behind so far that's positive, I don't have that negative side. So it's like, for me, I just look and go, well, this was not to build business. This was not for anything more than doing something for, one, a friend, for a department that goes out every day and protects myself and my family, and to do something positive. So for my standpoint, it was such a rewarding situation to be able to give this to them. And you were the one who really worked the hardest. This was yours. I helped you, but this was all you.
You guys helped so much by getting the dogs to sit still so I can take the photo. But it didn't stop there. I had to go home. I had to do cropping.
Yeah.
I had to do editing. I had to change filters sometimes of the color. I had to email it, re-email, had text, re-text them because sometimes it didn't go through.
Yeah.
Lovely technology. So it was a lot of work, and it all was worth it for me when Rocco came out of that car.
Yeah.
He went out. He got out of the car.
Well, first,
He had to go
first he didn't actually. Steve pulls up, and you heard Rocco barking. Not the typical kind of bark, though. It's I know you kind of bark.
You know, they're trained to bark in the car, so they deter people from getting anywhere near the.
We were far away from him.
Exactly, but they're taught to bark. And then he got out of the car. He had to go wee. And then he ran straight for us.
I still think that was an exciting pee. It's like when I take the dogs for a drive. As soon as I get home, the first thing they do is pee because they're excited. It's an excitement pee.
But he came over, he got love from him and kisses from him, and it's nice to see him have that playful side. Because, yes, you have an animal that needs to be loved and needs to have play, but after he's done working, he gets that.
Yeah.
And you can tell that his partner does not lack in that. His family doesn't lack giving him the proper attention a dog deserves.
Right.
And he still has that big, huge puppy. I'm a big puppy. But when I'm working, leave me alone.
Well, I look at him and I go, this dog does more in a day than a lot of people. That's pretty sad when an animal that should live on a couch or just be an animal, this dog actually does go out and work.
And it's a beautiful thing. And to see that
Wonderful
he has,
dog.
you know, even though they work and all the people that are against canine partners, canine police dogs, canine military, they still have that puppy side to them that isn't taken away.
Well, you don't mess with one that's on base. Take it from me. You don't even want to go and talk to them.
But
they are not gonna like you.
It's their downtime, their partner.
Yeah.
They have fun.
Yeah.
They enjoy each other's company, and that bond is so strong. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So it was really cool seeing Rocco and being able to present Steve with the dryer, and I hope Officer Campbell gets a ton of use out of it too with Chaos. And then Officer Gray gets to see what we went through with the blow drying. Or
Yeah. Oh, well, he got to see the video. He saw the video on YouTube. We did a video podcast. So he did get to see that. But, to everybody at the Rolla Police Department and police departments all over the world, thank you for all that you guys do. If it wasn't for you, we would all be dealing with anarchy every day. And just because, we're in an unfortunate time and age where criminals seem to be rewarded for their terrible behaviors, it does not diminish the way we actually feel about you. And I know there are many, many, many people out there who feel the same way. It's the police, the men and women that put a badge on, put their life on the line every day to protect us. You're the ones that actually deserve everything that we give you. So this is a very small thing that we could do, but at least I feel like we did something. Hopefully, I hope we made a little difference in your lives.
Yes, it was just so rewarding to be able to know that they're gonna use it. It's something that they wanted, that it wasn't exactly in the budget from the state, but they get something extra. And if there's something else that they need, we'll be more than happy to put our creative minds together and find another way to raise funds for you guys. We'll do it. You just gotta let us know.
Oh yeah, and you know how to get in touch with us, so it's easy. All right, and to close out GND news for this week, I am going to play a clip for Memorial Day for all of the sacrifices that our other police in our world do, and that would be the military. They are also deserving of a lot of respect, a lot of gratitude, and I want to play this clip in honor of all that have fallen.
It's the 3-day weekend that officially kicks off the summer season. A time for hanging at the beach, barbecuing, even catching a few laps of the Indy 500. But Memorial Day is also the most solemn American holiday, a day to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice while defending their nation. The Civil War, America's bloodiest chapter. Over 600,000 soldiers killed in action. Almost every community in every state suffered the loss of young men. As the war came to an end, mourners in both northern and southern states began placing flags and flowers on the graves of fallen soldiers. The town of Waterloo, New York is officially credited with starting the holiday. On May 5, 1866, its citizens closed their shops and businesses so that everyone could decorate the graves of the men killed during the war. Then an old war general had an idea. John A. Logan was the leader of a Union Veteran Association. He spearheaded an effort to unite all the decoration services into one national holiday, designating May 30th as Decoration Day. On the first National Decoration Day, 1868, 5,000 war widows, orphans, and other mourners gathered at Arlington National Cemetery. They placed flowers and ribbons on the 20,000 graves of both Union and Confederate soldiers. Two future presidents and fellow Union veterans, Ulysses Grant and James A. Garfield, attended the ceremony. Throughout the 19th century, Decoration Day grew. Ceremonies were held in major Civil War battlefields like Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and Antietam Field in Maryland. By the end of the century, the holiday was renamed Memorial Day. But war wounds ran deep. Most southern states refused to commemorate a holiday they regarded as honoring Union soldiers. So each state commemorated their war dead with different Confederate decoration days. Several southern states continue the tradition to this day. World War I ushered in the age of modern warfare. America lost over 130,000 soldiers in the global conflict. This shared experience finally bonded America's North and South. When the war ended, May 30th became a day to honor all American soldiers who died in battle as far back as the Revolutionary War. America interred its first unknown soldier in Arlington National Cemetery on Armistice Day, 1921. Every Memorial Day, this soldier and other unknown soldiers are honored with a wreath-laying ceremony conducted by the President or Vice President. They are reminders of all those who never made it home. Memorial Day became a federal holiday in 1971, and Congress shifted it from May 30th to the fourth Monday in May, giving federal workers a 3-day weekend. All across America, veterans and civilians still gather in parades and vigils to remember the generations who gave their lives for their nation's freedom.
And with that said, I think this is a good time to kind of conclude this week's podcast. We wanted to honor our friends at the police department. We want to honor all those who have served in the military. We want to honor those that we have lost due to war. And we want to thank everybody who continue to serve our country, whether it's with a police car or a military vehicle. So, I am Chris Green. Have a pet-tastic week.
And I'm Sarah Green, making sure everybody realizes life is so short. Play with your pet.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, gotta go in my bedtime.
Was without a doubt the worst episode ever. Rest assured that I was on the internet within minutes, registering my disgust throughout the world.